WCBI News at 6 starts now.
Thanks for staying with us, everyone, and good evening. The state trooper driving the SUV that crashed into another vehicle, killing a MSU track athlete, is indicted. Kyle Lee was arrested today for the May 2017 incident. Our Scott Martin has been following this investigation and joins us live in the studio with more. Scott?
Yeah, Joey, prosecutors say Kyle Lee was driving at speeds up to 99 miles per hour back on May 7th of 2017. The crash happened at Highway 182 in Old Mayhew Road, where the speed limit is 45 miles per hour. Kaylin Kirsch was a passenger in the Toyota Corolla that was hit by the MHP SUV. Prosecutors say the cruiser did not have on its lights or siren at the time of that crash. Now, an Oktibbeha County grand jury has indicted Lee. He's charged with manslaughter, culpable negligence. The Department of Public Safety says that Lee has been placed on administrative leave. DPS did settle a lawsuit last year with Kirsch's estate, along with two others that were injured in that crash. District Attorney Scott Colomb says that the Kirsch family requested the case be presented to a grand jury and there be an independent investigation. Lee's bond was set at $5,000. We'll, of course, continue to follow this developing story. Joey.
All right, thanks, Scott. A Lowndes County teenager is facing charges for allegedly firing shots at deputies.
Your bond. One just zipped right by me right there.
Lowndes County Sheriff Mike Arledge says deputies responded to a home on Highway 12 East just after midnight. After getting reports of shots being fired, deputies parked near the home and walked toward the gunfire. That's when 18-year-old John DeLoach reportedly fired shots in their direction. Arledge says after firing multiple times, DeLoach got into a vehicle to leave the area. Deputies stopped him on Highway 12 and took him into custody. DeLoach is charged with 3 counts of aggravated assault on a law enforcement officer. No bond has been set. Neither the suspect nor deputies were injured.
One of the officers had kind of stepped out into the parking lot towards the road to try to get a visual of the subject firing the rounds, and that's when several shots were fired. He paused for a moment, several more shots were fired, and that's when he realized he was being shot at.
Investigators say deputies shut down the highway in the area to make sure no passing cars were hit by the gunfire. We have new developments tonight on the ongoing saga surrounding the Okolona Town Marshal's race. Tommy Lee Ivey Sr. currently sits in that position. However, there could potentially be a new change in leadership. A new special election may soon have to take place after the Supreme Court issues a ruling earlier today. Our Quentin Smith is in Okolona breaking it all down for us. He joins us live with more.
Joey, earlier today, the Supreme Court issued a ruling essentially saying that William Randall's name should have never been left off of the ballots to begin with. Now, the drama surrounding this situation dates back to 2017 when William Randall defeated Tommy Ivey Sr. by a single vote in the Democratic primary race. Well, in that race, Ivey believed that some of the ballots were mishandled, and as a result, he filed a lawsuit against the Democratic Executive Committee and Randall. In court, Circuit Judge Barry Ford ruled that some of the votes cast in Randall's favor were indeed unlawful and should have not have been counted. Well, instead of calling for a special election to take place, according to Randall's attorney Walter Zinn, Ford withdrew Randall's name from the ballots altogether. As a result, the only candidates left in the election were Tommy Ivey Sr. and his son, Tommy Ivey Jr., who ran as an independent. Now, I do want to point out, although the Supreme Court issued today's ruling, they cannot call for a special election to take place. That will have to come from Judge Ford. So far, Zinn says he has not been told when the judge will make that announcement. Now, despite no longer being with the Okolona Police Department, Zinn says his client, William Randall, does intend to run in the special election when it gets called. We're going to have much more from Zinn tonight about today's ruling and from his client coming up on WCBI News at 9 and 10. But for now, reporting live in Okolona, Quentin Smith, WCBI News.
All right, thanks, Quentin. Scary moments this afternoon after 2 buses hit each other in Columbus. Police Chief Fred Shelton says an ICS Head Start school bus backed into a Columbus school bus at low speed this afternoon. It happened in a neighborhood on Winehurst Court. There were 8 children on the ICS bus and 20 on the Columbus bus. It's ICS Head Start protocol, police say, to take everyone to the emergency room. The children have been checked and there were no injuries. Time now to turn things over to Chief Meteorologist Keith Gibson, who joins us with a first look at our forecast.
Well, Joey, we've had some friendly clouds out there today. Earlier, you can see these little ripples in the clouds. A gorgeous Thursday for us. Temperatures topping out in the 50s. We actually overachieved in many spots. Well, we were going to look at Louisville, Mississippi, our Alpha Insurance camera, but we do have a little batch of clouds coming our way. So partly cloudy here right now, becoming variably cloudy tonight. We've got 40s and 50s. Lows tonight should be somewhere down into the 30s. If you stay clear a little bit longer, maybe a shot of some low 30s for tomorrow, though. Upper 50s, low 60s, partly cloudy for Friday. Your full forecast is coming up.
The Columbus restaurant tax is the governor's signature away from potentially becoming law again. The Senate passed a bill to reinstate the 2% tax on Columbus restaurants that have gross sales above $100,000. Under the revived tax, $400,000 would go to Columbus to use in its parks department, $300,000 for the newly formed Lowndes County Parks and Rec, and $250,000 goes to the Golden Triangle Development Link. The rest of the money would go to the Columbus Lowndes Convention and Visitors Bureau. A citizens referendum could block the tax. If 20% or 2,000 registered Columbus voters sign a petition, the tax would have to be approved in an election. Economic development is more than just improving the bottom lines of businesses. The economy also impacts the quality of life for residents. Our Riley Livingston takes a look at Calhoun County's strategy. She joins us live in the studio with more.
Joey, from farming to factories, big box stores to mom and pop shops, even in small towns, there's room for economic diversity and growth.
The Calhoun Economic Development Association is meeting Thursday night to honor those helping the community grow. Even though Calhoun County is considered a rural area, its economy is quite diverse.
We have a huge sweet potato industry here, but we also have a lot of local good industries. Our 3 major employers are actually hiring right now. They're located throughout the county. And then we always have our really good, what we call our mom and pop operators, those smaller families that really do a great job helping our economy.
Growth doesn't come without challenges, but businesses here have learned to face those challenges head on.
The square is not what it used to be, but the ones that are here, you know, have figured out how to compete with the bigger towns and offer a local flavor that the people here want, and it's a good thing.
And the numbers don't lie.
I'm excited to say, as of December 2018, last month, the unemployment rate in Calhoun County was 4.4%. That's actually 14th best unemployment in the state, so that's a good number for us.
But the county doesn't want to stop there. There's still room to grow.
We're working with our existing industry because that's where we really want to focus on them. But anyone that proposes to come in and maybe put in a new business or a new manufacturing company, our County Board of Supervisors has been really well working with them.
Local businesses rely heavily on the support of the community. Tony Hardin says he wouldn't be where he is now without that support.
Oh, it's been amazing. Everybody, the local mayor, the supervisors, friends, other business owners in the area, everybody's just been a help. And I can't say enough about what it did to get us actually started, because we hung around for a long time without anything coming in, and it would have been no way we could have done it without the help.
CEDA's dinner and award ceremony will start in just a few minutes. Joey?
We'll be right back. Stay with us.
Sky First Alert AccuWeather Forecast with Chief Meteorologist Keith Gibson.
A clean sweep with our live Doppler radar here on our Thursday evening. But we will be changing that, it looks like, as we go throughout the next couple of days. Rain chances returning. But it's been a wet January in Tupelo, Columbus, and in Starkville, well above the average for the month of January. And looking ahead at the precipitation outlook for February, yes, it could trend a little wetter here in the southeast, perhaps a little bit warmer too. We'll just see how it all plays out. Now, in the near term, we are going to be warm as we get into February. Don't forget, Saturday is Groundhog Day, February 2nd. There's Punxsutawney Phil. What's he going to be predicting? Most likely, no shadow, because it's looking mainly cloudy, and that, in theory, would mean an early spring, but we do have an early spring coming our way. 50s, 60s, 70s in the forecast for a while. A lot of you in downtown Columbus, we are looking at quiet conditions here across most of our region. Temperatures in the mid to upper 40s and 50s. So we've really warmed up the region over the last 24 hours, and we are done with the deep freeze. Lows tonight primarily in the 30s. If you hold on to a little bit clearer and a little bit longer, maybe the low 30s, but mid 30s overall, about 10 degrees warmer than where we were this morning and much warmer than the last couple of nights. So here's your Friday planner. We may be warmer than 31. Let's just say 50s and low 60s for temperatures during the course of the afternoon. Let's break it down city by city. 59 in Aberdeen, 58 for you in Tupelo. Winds will be about 5 to 10 miles per hour, or pretty light here, about 2 to 5. But generally speaking from the south, and we're looking at temperatures again in the 50s to low 60s here for our Friday. Notice that layer of clouds right there. It's advanced a little bit farther east, but it's going to be with us tonight, and there could actually be a few showers, especially across the northern and western sections of the area. So in general tonight, we're looking at variably cloudy to mostly cloudy to partly cloudy skies. Same story tomorrow too. The best odds of a shower here tomorrow will be to our northwest as a bigger batch of rain meanders off to the south. And this weekend too, your Saturday shows a chance for a few showers around here, but the best opportunity for rain not around here. But look at these temperatures warming into the 50s and 60s as we go through the weekend, pushing into the low 70s early next week. Rain chances go up by Monday, and it looks like we'll have some storm opportunities too by Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday as we get into next week. So a warm start to February. More of the show after the break.
WCBI Sports with Tom Ebel is brought to you by your local Ford dealers. Go further.
Wcbi County native Jeffrey Simmons projects on almost every big board as a first-round pick. His on-field production proves that, but his past is going to be his biggest hurdle to overcome in his journey to the NFL. NFL.com's Tom Pelissero reports Simmons will not be invited to the NFL Combine due to his past issues involving violence. Simmons pleaded no contest with simple assault and disturbing the peace in 2016. Simmons and Colorado State wide receiver Preston Williams are the only two to be barred from the Combine this year to this point. WCBI confirms Houston native Denver McQuarrie has been dismissed from the Mississippi State baseball program for violation of team rules. Joel Coleman was the first to report. McQuarrie was in competition to fill a weekend role for the Bulldogs as well as continue in relief opportunities. McQuarrie went 2-2 in 19 appearances with a 5.54 ERA in his sophomore season in 2018. Missouri football, baseball, and softball will all be banned from the postseason in its upcoming year. The NCAA announcing a former university tutor completed the coursework for 12 student athletes in each program. Each program has been placed under a 3-year probation. Baseball and softball are banned this upcoming season from the postseason, and football banned for the 2019-2020 season. Hail State Hoops back in action, riding its 23-game SEC win streak into Baton Rouge to take on LSU. The Bulldogs are in for a battle. LSU currently the top defense statistically in the conference, giving up an SEC low 54 points per game. Vic Schaefer says the key to a W begins on the boards.
They rebounded as hard as anybody in our league, typically 4 to the boards, and we're going to have to do a great job of rebounding the basketball and holding them to one shot because they'll get after you. They play really hard.
Mississippi State and LSU just tipping off about 3 minutes ago. That was at 6:30. You can catch the game over on the SEC Network Plus. Vic Schaefer also saying that LSU has its own version of Anriel Howard, so an interesting matchup there. Again, Bulldogs riding that 23-game conference win streak into a tough one in Baton Rouge. Also, Ole Miss hosting Auburn, tip-off at 7. That game won't be on television. It'll also be streaming on the SEC Network Plus. The Auburn Tigers have won 7 of the past 10 meetings. We'll have all recap of both of those games coming up tonight at 10, but that's it for sports. The last look at your weather is next.
February is here tomorrow, Joey. We really start to warm things up. 50s, 60s tomorrow, even warmer next week.
Those teens will be a distant memory.
Get those shorts out.
No, all right. Hey, thanks for sticking it out with us, everybody. Have a good night.